This is Eric Muathe with Muathe.com, January 15th, 2021. Let's take a look here. We are seeing BTC trading at 37,345, down about 4%. And we're going to take a quick look, very quick look at LTC and Ethereum. All right, let's do that. And like I said, this is going to be a brief educational video. I would really be watching out in terms of the RSI because of where we are stalling right now, which is right here. So if you consider yesterday's move, which was an attempt in a sense to break out above the recent daily closing high right there. So we never really got to that recent daily closing high. And now we are seeing this RSI 69. Uniform activity rejection right here. And we can also say that this is now an attempt to break out, but there was a decline in the strength. But again, I need to go back to this RSI 69.1 uniform activity rejection. Hope you can see it. We tried to move above 69.1, we were rejected. Now, this, in my opinion, does set the stage for a meaningful pullback, maybe to take out this low here at 30,000, or to take out the low here at 34,000, which is the recent daily closing low, or intraday low here. I think the stage is set for a break of those levels if the following happens, which is a break of the RSI lows line. So this line here would have to break before we can see a serious pullback in terms of the cryptos. And again, from an educational standpoint, the main takeaway from this video should be the RSI 69.1 uniform activity rejection. Also, I should point out that there's a RSI lows line here for Bitcoin, the recent daily lows. You can draw it this way. And we can see also here that expect to see a sharp sell-off should we break below this initial black line. Now the same thing can be said if we take a look at Ethereum. We can see right now it is trading with its RSI showing a little bit of early signs of rejection of RSI 69.1. So 69.1. If this continues to be the case, expect a pullback. Now visually it would be similar to this RSI 69.1 rejection at the highs there. And to change this, I should have said the same thing for BTC. One way to change this is by moving above 69.1. Now, of course, if they move above 69.1, then this is exactly what the bulls want to see. We can see a good example of what happens when you move above RSI 69.1. You tend to get a spike. So moving above 69.1 is the solution. Otherwise, RSI 69.1 rejection is a reason for a sell-off. By the way, again, don't expect a strong sell-off until we break the recent RSI lows line. This line has to break first and foremost for there to be any significant breakdown in prices. The same thing can be said for LTC. Watch the RSI lows line, a break of this line here, and we can even draw it from a recent lows perspective, which is drawing it this way. Either way, a break of either of these two lines would invite a strong sell-off whenever it happens. It's another way of saying that as long as we are trading above the two lines and holding above the two lines, then there's a possibility of a fresh breakout down the road. Which, by the way, is actually another point to make, which is the best way to approach momentum is rather than try and catch a bounce, it makes more sense if you're trying to do this correctly is to wait for the fresh breakout and play the fresh breakout. Because if there's more upside, let's say if Litecoin is going to trade in the 200s, 300s, it has to move above the recent daily closing high. So instead of being caught in this sideways action, and you don't know how long this sideways to down action can take. It can take days, it can take weeks, months, if not years. So the best thing in terms of reducing your wait period and risk is see whether there's a breakout at some point in the future, play the future breakout as a strategy. And we can see a good example of this in these recent breakouts here. Good example. Visually, of course, we are using 2020 hindsight, but at least it illustrates the point that you'd rather wait for a fresh breakout, and so you can understand the intent of the instrument. So far, we've been taking a look at the daily charts. Let's take a look at the 4-hourly chart. So the 4-hourly chart, and this is what I was sharing with paid clients yesterday, which is this line here, backtest line, and then there's also a topside resistance line. Right, let me draw it like that. So you can see as of yesterday, we came and tagged both lines, and so far we are pulling back. So it makes sense from that perspective that those two lines are offering resistance. And again, even here we can see that the true sell-off, if there's going to be a sell-off in the near future or whenever, is going to only take place when we break the RSI lows line. This line has to break before we can see a material plunge. Eric Muathe with Muathe.com. Oh, and by the way, one other slight addition, be on the lookout for a sharp sell-off hour to hour whenever we break RSI 50 on the 4-hourly. And so it is. Love light, light love. Namaste.